Good evening, everyone. We're so glad to have you with us for this portion of Nye County. We're so glad to have you with us, and I have wonderful guests for tonight. In fact, I have two guests, one for the first two sessions and one for the second two. And we'll introduce the first guest right now, and this is Diane Wrightman. Diane, welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me.
I'm so glad to have you here. And you are the director of Great Basin College.
I am.
And we have a campus. Where is the main campus?
The main campus is located up in Elko, Nevada.
Elko. Mm-hmm. That's up in the cold country.
It is, it is. It's a long drive too. I have to go up there twice a year. So October and February. And February is always sketchy because you never know if you're going to hit a snowstorm or not.
Okay.
So.
And we have a campus here.
We do.
And in Pahrump.
We do, over by where the high school is located, over in Calvada. We're right in front of the high school there.
Okay. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things with Great Basin College. If you're talking about taking any college courses, or if you know someone that wants to take college courses, those are the things we're really going to be talking about today. The one thing I want to emphasize over and over, so many times when I talk to people, they talk about Great Basin, the community college that's here. Well, Great Basin being a college, community college denotes a 2-year degree only. But a college gives out 4-year degrees. And for Great Basin, what do we have?
We have a number of bachelor programs right now that we're offering in the areas of education. So you can get your secondary or elementary education degree completely here in Pahrump. You can also get a degree in social work.
Okay.
Which is a 3+1 program that we have with the University of
You're talking about a
Nevada,
bachelor's degree?
Yes, these are all bachelor degrees.
So we're not talking about a community college?
No, we're not at all. And in fact, we are looking at trying to become a state college. And so that's something that we're petitioning our Nevada State Board of Regents and trying to become a state college at some point in the future. So by us offering all these new bachelor programs, we're able to show that there is a need there in our community and in our rural areas.
That's fantastic. Now, the fact that you offer bachelor programs as well as associate programs, and you've talked about some of the bachelor programs that you have, mm-hmm. I think that's fantastic. But if you become a state college, what's the benefit there?
The benefit is that we can offer more scholarship programs. Having that designation as a state college allows us to you know, sometimes students want to have that, you know, we're a state college, I'm not saying that we're legit, we're always accredited and we're always going to be, but just being able to be a state college, it's just, we're a little bit, it's a little bit better for the state. It's better for our community as well and for the state of Nevada as a whole, having another state college in the system.
You say another state college. What's the other?
The other state college is Nevada State College, and that is over in Clark County.
Okay.
In Las Vegas, yeah.
And we would have Great Basin College.
Right.
Great Basin State College.
Correct.
Once you name it, okay.
So, and we would cover all the rural areas and up north, so.
Okay. Does that change tuition or anything like that?
That I'm unsure of right now.
Okay.
I don't know how that would change anything as far as money goes. I'm sure that there would be somewhat of an adjustment there.
You know, I know there's, private colleges and then there's state mm-hmm. and state colleges. And I've always noticed some people say, well, I want to go to a private college instead of a state college because of whatever. Mm-hmm. And I want to remind our audience, there is no difference when you graduate. If you have a bachelor's degree, you have a bachelor's degree.
Right, and and an employer is going to look at where you got it from, and they just want to make sure it's an accredited college is where you received that degree from. And what's great about going to Great Basin College is that, I always tell students, if you're going to get a bachelor's degree, whether it's from us or whether you transfer to one of our other state schools, whether it's UNLV or UNR, I always say do your first 2 years at a college at like Great Basin because mm-hmm. it's cheaper, you're going to save a lot of money, and then when you transfer, those upper division classes, that's where the money, that's where it's expensive. But that's what you're going into, and that's where you're going to be taking those classes.
Well, I want to change the emphasis for just a minute because the Cubs won the World Series. Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm going to be talking about this for about 108 years.
Right.
So that's never going to go away regardless of when you see this show. So the Cubs won the World Series. I'm from Chicago.
Okay.
So I did exactly what you're talking about. I went to Chicago City College for my first 2 years, and it was cheaper. And a veteran, it even helped me as well. And I know you also have veteran benefits.
We do.
So we're going to talk about some of that too. And then I transferred over to Illinois Institute of Technology, where I got my bachelor's degree, and also a commission as a second lieutenant. But I encourage all students to try to, if you want to save money at all, do your first 2 years, just as Diane just stated, at Great Basin College. And then you can move on to Great Basin College for your bachelor's degree, or you can go someplace else. But complete those first 2 years, get that out of the way.
Right, and if you feel like, oh, it might be too expensive, or oh, I can't afford it, you know, there are scholarships out there. There is financial aid out there. I tell students, go on to our FAFSA websites, fafsa.ed.gov. But it's a free application for student aid. So basically, based on how much you make in your household, you could qualify for a Pell Grant, which you don't have to pay back, but it's free money that you get to help pay for your classes if you qualify. Otherwise, we do have, there's subsidized and unsubsidized student loans that students can take out, and that helps pay for some of their tuition. And we have a number of students that take advantage of those. That
is fantastic. Now, I just mentioned the veterans. What do you do for veterans?
So we do have a Veteran Service Resource Center. The one in Pahrump at our center, we are actually getting the last of our furniture delivered, so hopefully that will open up sooner. I'm hoping for spring. So we'll have a space for our veteran students to be able to connect and get to know other veteran students. And then we also have a veteran coordinator, and she's out of our Elko office, Tawny Crum, and she works with all of our VA students, as well as I do, as far as making sure you have all your paperwork, because there's a lot of paperwork when it comes to getting your VA benefits. So.
You know, as a former aircraft maintenance officer, we used to always say, once the paperwork equaled the weight of the airplane, then it was ready to fly. So, so I guess the same thing happens with the veterans. Always a lot of paperwork. Okay.
Always.
So what kind of courses do you have? Let's talk associate degrees first.
Okay.
And then we can go into the bachelor program.
So we have a number of associate degrees, whether you want to do criminal justice, whether you want to do business management. You can also do computer technologies, computer programming. We have a new graphic communication, so if you're into graphic design, we have a program there. If you want to travel up to Elko, you can do some diesel technology type classes or welding. A lot of our technical education classes are going to be up there. We also have an emergency EMT program, basic and advanced, so you can go through your basic first and then go ahead and take the advanced program as well. And then after you receive your EMT basic, we do have a new paramedic program. So students can go through our paramedic program and get their paramedic license, and you know.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
And we talked earlier about certification. When they complete these programs, what do they have to do to be completely certified?
So if you are going to be like a nurse, or if you're going to go into the paramedic program, there is usually a national exam that you have to take. But hopefully, based on after going through our programs, you are qualified and you're educated enough to be able to take those exams with no problem and be able to pass them. And that same thing goes for if you're going to do education or social work. You know, when you get your bachelor's degree, you're done. Like, you're a teacher or you're a social worker. So you don't have to take a test to be be certified as those, because your bachelor degree grants you that opportunity.
It grants you that because you're also completed a practicum that goes with it.
Correct, correct.
Okay.
So whether you're going to be out in the field as a social worker, doing work at maybe your internship, or as a student teacher, obviously you're going to do student teaching in the classroom, and we are in all of the elementary schools and the high school here in Pahrump. So.
Now, because I have a teaching certificate, a teaching degree, and I also have one for doing school administration or superintendent or any of those, Reciprocity, that impacts so many people. Want to tell us more about the Reciprocity program?
So students who want to continue on with their education, we don't have anything as far as a master's goes, but we have students who want to, or we have people who go through, want to be student teachers, or they want to be substitute teachers. So they'll come and visit us at the center. They'll take some extra classes. Usually it's 2 extra classes that they have to take in order to get that certification to be able to be a substitute and to carry on every single year after that.
Okay, what I meant by the reciprocity was transferring to another state or another state coming in.
Right, and
now,
you can do that too.
Now, if you're coming in, say, from Arizona or California or Illinois, if you're coming in from one of those states and you have your certification in that state and you come into Nevada, do you know what courses you might want to take?
Usually you'll have to meet with the advisor and they'll let you know. Otherwise, if you already have that degree, or if you already are a nurse or a teacher, it's usually up to the state and what the state requires. So every state is different, obviously, and every state has their own licensing fees for whatever that they're going to do. So these degrees are transferable to these other states, any of the other states. It's just up to that state whether or not you have to do any additional classes or take any additional work in order to get certification within that state. So.
And I asked her that question, put her on the spot, of course. I was certified to teach in Illinois and on the island of Guam. And when I came into the state of Nevada, I had to take one course. It had a master's degree course at UNLV. So only one course, and then I was certified to teach and do all the things in the state of Nevada. And my license is still current.
So that's good.
So I know we have a lot of students that are graduating, and they're in dire need of teachers, nurses,
absolutely,
and all the people that you produce at Great Basin College.
Yep, and we're doing it every day, and we have great instructors. They're all qualified. They all have at least a master's or higher. We have a majority of them do actually have their PhDs, so we have high quality instructors teaching our classes, and whether it's online or live or interactively through our interactive system, they are there to help students and to be there for them and get them through to the program.
Now, Diane, we've covered a lot of information, and I always tell people, make sure you have your pen and paper and write down a lot of the information. On the screen, we're giving phone numbers. Be sure to write all of this information down. Now, we're going to be going into session 2, and we'll be continuing a lot of the information that we've just started. And I'm so glad to have Diane with us today to give you all of this information. It is so crucial. Be with us.